morning, folks. It's 22:18 on the 11th day, first month, 2023. And I'm looking here at the wicked glitches, aiming those storms here and pinning various flows in Queensland, Australia. This radar in particular, over here at Richmond, is exceedingly guilty. And what I want you to notice is you've got a pulse down low that's a circle, but you have some wedges going over the top here. It's just going to create some very interesting dynamics between the two cake layers of electromagnetic frequency down here. One beaming a pulse like that, and the one down low just beaming a big circle like you're seeing here. Boom, boom. And then the other ones come out on top of it. So you got a very complicated weather machine over there in Richmond, and it's going to be fueling the demise of even its own local area. They've really started to pixelate things smaller to try to hide the beams. Have you noticed that yet? How they just popped the Legos down? Or perhaps those are individual bombs it's picking up. Because, come on. Can you read a radar? That's ridiculous. You know why? They don't want you to see what they've been showing you, but it doesn't matter. I've already got a document where it's much clearer than this. And well, if your Malcolm Senator wants evidence of geoengineering destroying Australia and how to say no to the Paris Agreement, all my information is freely available for him to use. He can mute out my voice even, because some people get their back hairs put up with what I got to say. But you know what I got to say is my choice to say. And I can usually show you almost always why I say what I say. Even my opinions I'll back up with something that I expect you to show me something that I can then refute or not. And if I don't refute it, I go, thank you for teaching me something. Thank you for the life lesson. And well, the life lesson you're going to get this week is that geoengineering is real, and it can cause catastrophic floods. And it can move vast rivers of moistures and can be given many names for their harm. Now, throughout this event, I'm going to be watching this dam. All right, I've decided this dam is the one I'm going to watch. It's a river, and this is an expected thing to be coming under here. So when I see it coming to this edge here and flowing over this stuff here, coming down here, I know they've got a really high release coming. So that's going to be my tell. And it's happened in the past. The scrubbed off rocks clearly show this is where it's supposed to go. So I find that interesting. Yeah, is that a fish ladder or some kind? I don't know. I usually see those full of water. Maybe that end. Who knows? All I know is I'm going to be keeping an eye on your dam. And it seems tidal. Because when I look at one of the pictures here, you can see different levels to the lake. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. Sometimes these buoys are this way, sometimes it's pulling that way. See, I'm pretty sure this is tidal. If not, boy, was it windy. And nobody even fishing near the dam. Now, one person down there fishing. I'm shocked. It's really shocked. It's been very windy. You see this tree bent over here. So I do tell a lot even from a still image. Hey, wow, I hit something and it started rolling. So we'll be watching it. We'll be watching this too, this one spot right here. When that thing there gets buried underwater, you know the flow is thick, right? So you'll be watching. Did that disappear yet? Right? So we're going to be memorizing these features, and we're going to go back and keep looking. At Teresa's Creek's dam wall, or her dam wall. Jean-Claude's goddamn damn wall. The damn wall. Well, isn't that a different way of putting it? Okay, I'll continue along. Yeah, I got a lot of little traffic cams I've decided I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch this road. I'm going to watch this creek. It looks like it's had some action in the past. There's a lot of swept down grass and signs that it's been some wash through here. So you should watch these roads too, because you've got to go through there. Can this road handle any more stuff along the side before that tarmac rips up? Because once that tarmac rips up, the bridge abutment starts to go down under here. Starts to cause an eddy. All the stuff packed in goes away. That's when you start to lose your bridges. But you know, if you start making one out of wood now, you just drag it into place. You'd be ready. Because you would be hung out to dry out there. It looks like you have a railroad track right up here. Imagine that. Imagine that. With a trestle and a bridge. Yeah, I see it right here. So this is an area that definitely washes through. So this is going to be an area of interest over the next 5 days over here at 30 Mile Creek. Culvert Overview. You get some cool names, huh? Yeah, this is what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to give you through some stuff we're going to look at. And I want you to look at these things too and keep an eye on them. This is a good one for sea conditions, right? You're going to figure this out. And you get the premium costs a little bit, but thank you to you guys, I'm able to afford that every month. Yeah, you guys support my work allows me to have the premium apps that I need to get all the information. So we'll be watching this for the frothiness of the seas as it comes in, especially these ones around here. Karen's got a lot of them. So the ones that aim out to the sea are of great interest. These ones here will allow us to see like this square form to this cloud over here. If you went outside your house right now, you should be able to see this. And this is in front of that one, right? It's blocking out the light. It might even have the same amount of moisture, but there's less light getting through to it, so it looks darker. I do see some signs of rain falling right here, and it's almost a sock squeeze pointed that way. Very interesting pictures I can pick up out here off your have this Innisfail Bruce Highway, though, Bruce. That's a long road. That's like US 1. US 1's a long road nobody ever says to take. They always go Route 66. Nah, man, drive US 1 all the way from tip to toe. Yeah, all the way down the East Coast and up the United States, all the way out to the Florida Keys, man. You go right to Key Largo. And then here's looking at you, kid. At the Florida Keys, you be smelling the chem bomb breeze. Like somebody cut the cheese, the burning match stinks smell. And we'll be watching this beach here at Port Douglas over the next few days as my sleeplessness seems to be continuing. She didn't know she was going to be on television, did she? Not anymore, man. Well, this is a panning camera, and it's going to take us in many different directions. I'd love to be able to control this camera and look around. So we'll be able to get a really good view of the surf and what's draining into the ocean from this area here. How raging is that going to get? So these are kind of important. So I can go back now and look at these. But this site's kind of cool. It'll let you go back quite a time. The lifetime of the camera, 12 months. So you can look at some of your past storms on these. Yeah, no, don't be using it to spy on each other. You said you're at the beach. What were you doing? Who's that on a blanket? Hey, look, somebody made a sandcastle. Let's look at the cool things. In the light of the night, somebody's work has made it onto the weather video. I need some sand on that beach between my toes. Not really. It's been a long time since I've been on the beach. So we'll be looking at cans and Innisfail. Down here where a lot of the action's going to occur, I'll be on it. When we get down toward the storm coming in more, I just looked at that one. Some of these cities, as you zoom in, you can see more. And Rockhampton, you are very much, this area here is all in what I'm going to look at. Like this might even show this line of storms coming in now. Let's have a look. We got a railroad with a crossing and a bridge. Why would they flood this out? New infrastructure needs wider or different size gauge tracks. Electromagnetic things require new setups with new installations and new business, and that's a nice old car. Yes, area I noticed things. At the Florida Keys. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to the other stuff, but right now I'm just doing what I want. Isn't it nice to do what you want? Yeah, there's coal being free. We might have to keep an eye on this island out here. Over here, Townsville's and Jeffreys Bay. Or maybe I've already looked there. Yes, Rockhampton. I haven't picked out which camera of yours I want to look at yet. Yeah, we got a lot of action coming down here. And you guys are absolutely going to copy. From up on this hill, we'll be able to keep track of this creaky thing right here over O'Boyne Island. It is a tidal thing. So we can get a look now of what does it look like normally. And we'll get a couple looks at it. That's a high tide. Right? So we'll be doing it. Hey, Dingo. The Dingo Warrior. Emerald. Can they hide your beamins from me? No, because look, you got a low deck, high deck move. Two different cloud decks moving on each other. We got these Legos going by. So I told you, if I kept showing it good enough, they're going to pixelate the feed. They have to. Because I'm going to bust your balls today, too. I'm taking your pants down. I'm burning your ass with the magnifying glass by looking very closely at what they're doing. That all these V shapes have to be pointed toward a known radar station. Right? You ain't hiding this shit. You damn sure ain't hiding it from looking at it. Look at the glitch down here. The constant. The constant. The constant anticipation. The whole constant patience of it all. You have to have constant patience to fight this shit. You just do. And well, I don't know where I find it. Is this great big beam of Legos is shooting down here? I mean, really? You supposed to tell anything from that? Well, somewhere here or here or here or here. There's no cloud here, no cloud. If anything made it look like there's geoengineering more than this image, tell me. Because it makes everything look squared out. Except this one image that's an actual feedback that they left alone, kind of. Nah, they know. I see you. You pulled your pants down. Yeah, maybe I'll end up paying for a better feed than this. If I was a rich man, I would have the 5,000 pound a year satellite feed, because that's what the aviation people can buy for their planes and stuff, and they get a real view. Will we be looking out here for no reason? Looked like you had a little rain. Definitely. Oh, look at that chem bomb. Would you look at the kelp? There's a big boomer streamering off chemtrails. And there's this stuff just stays all day, don't it? Just steals your sunshine. Just stole your sunshine away. Totally stole it away. Get back to work. Cool. See, your entire day. Hey, that thing's still there. It didn't go away. It didn't dissipate like a contrail should. It's still there. There's hours in between here. Your whole sky got smashed. You wiped the camera. There's a lot of flare here. What's with those two cones up there? Oh, water tanks, probably. Somebody got a camper or something? Oh, that's probably a fuel truck. Spider probably did his dirty work. Who knows? All I know is it's not dirty work. Anyways, the dirty work's what I have to do, exposing the Legos, put them all together to show the big picture of what's going on. I was wondering how long they was going to let me do this. I'll find another way. You still see it. The Legos are all lining up in a circle, man. Come on, they don't want you to see it because they're not C's. N-O-T-S-E-E-S. A bunch of not C's. Bringing you to your knees? No. Don't. You will... It's better to die on your fucking feet, advancing, than to cower as a bootlick and slave and die that way. Because the dying isn't an inevitable. So... give it meaning. Give your life a story. Brain is beaming so many different directions, this way, and they can tone it down as much as they want, and I'll still see it. I'll still go over here and say, over the known radar station, there's electromagnetic perturbation going on, creating a cloud, and if it's creating a cloud, it's not a glitch, it's a geoengineering tool. Period. And it made a cloud, pulsed out, made clouds as it went. It's not a glitch. It's the sons of a bitch lying to you again. If you think 2 sets of stairs is going to break every bone in your body, stay inside the rest of your life. You're a fool. You're going to die young and scare people. Now, there's a lot of lies that get told to you. And geoengineering is one of the biggest. They told us for years that it wasn't real and geoengineering didn't happen. There was no such thing. And now they're selling it openly to block your sunshine, called solar radiation management. And they took all your sunshine today. If it wasn't for the radars being on and these chem bombs being deployed, you might have had a really sunny day today. If it wasn't for those beams, you might not be getting flooded out this week. If it wasn't for your complacency, this would stop. Complacency kills and is implied consent. Oh, they ain't saying nothing. Let's ramp it up a little more. Oh, let's ramp it up a little more. Oh, they ain't said nothing. Oh, let's put another block in the road. Oh, let's have another speed bump. They ain't said something about the first one. That's going to sell a lot of shocks and brakes. Salt the roads and break the shock towers. Stop selling vehicles except a certain kind. And Musk makes a ton. Yep, as you'll probably, the truckers in Queensland might end up being the passengers in the trucks watching them drive the first time. You'll just be sitting there just to make sure you still have jobs, but the next generation might not have that. They'll all be shunted by radars, and we're teaching them how to drive now with the backing up beep, and people too lazy to look over their shoulder when they back up or check around the wheels of their car, make sure there's a kid under there or a kitten. You got a cold area and you pulled in at night, the likelihood of an animal crawling up near your hood to stay warm is good. So, you have to take things into account. Well, cars make noise going down the road too. These electric cars, what are they going to do to the animals? There's no warning. They don't hear it. How are they going to know? How? Well, if this keeps going on like with these crazy patterns like this, they're not going to be left to know. Pictures and stuffed animals in museums, all that's going to be left in petting zoos. It's this weird, crazy pattern of chemtrails. Has anybody picked up a pilot out here flying anything odd at about, let's see, 6:50? I got a military timeless in my head. See, about 3.5 hours ago, right here, flying a wild patterns. Right here, if they did, here's evidence of them cloud seeding that you can use as senator if you are honestly trying to thwart this program. Then here's some more evidence for you. Crazy patterns. You guys got to do the other part of it. Find the crazy pattern there, and you'll find the correlation of the cloud it made and evidence of the seeding that was done. This is much higher up in the atmosphere than that. It's fairly high up because something's going underneath it with the triple shot. 1, 2, 3. A lot of bombs going off in this line here. See them deployed. See it? I'll go back to that one. See it? See it? See it? See it? See it? 2016, I was saying it so often, people started laughing about it. I got self-conscious. Just like when I do boom, 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 go to plumes. It's like it's expected. I get shy going. Boom, 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 go to plumes, and we have an ejaculator out there. Look, got 2 testicles, a shaft, and a knob. Yep. Spunking up the skies, man. Spunking up the skies. Cloud batter. What a shame. Got a number 2 right here. No, I mean, really. 3, 2, 1, boom 'em. Yeah, they made it look like a number 2, all right. That's some bomb clusters going off over, see if I remember where I am. I'm starting to try to remember where I am by just moving. It's a little bit this way, a little bit that way. My mouse gets me to Mount Isa. That's where I thought I was. And these radars here are on. Well, let's run these fast and see if we can pick up their big pulses. The big ones, you'll see them come right across. There's a haze across the country. Here's one coming this way. You see how it's vaporizing that cloud deck? That's really low wave frequency. Really low. Boom. Boom. Is the Brio Arena station near here, Charlieville? It's very possible that this radar has done that. Yeah. It's this one doing it. Charlieville and all that right here. Ain't it? Nah. That's up here. The radar that they turned off is doing it. It's a big pulsar. Could vary. I think it's Burke. Because it's got the signature of it. It's traveled a long way. And it could have started under that cloud deck. Let's see if we got any coming through here. Yeah, we got a big pulse wave coming up from Alice. Coming up through there, see it? All the high pressures turn this direction over Alice Springs, which says that air is hotter. And so hotter air turns that direction. Storms are low pressure. So when the hot and the low meet, boom, high, low, storm. Definitely a waveform coming through here. See it? Are any bombs being used to help with the waveform? We shall see. Maybe they're going to take this away next, and when they do, I'm going to take a bow. One more radar retired. Oh yeah, I get badges for that too. I've retired radars. It's how long I've been doing this. Yeah, yeah, of course Rothschild a lot of money. He had to buy a Woo Underground. He had to buy a Null School. Yeah, yeah, he had to buy that one. He probably owns this one now. He probably had to go buy Windy because I've seen a lot of pixelations going on. But I don't know. Maybe Australia's decided only to give a certain amount. You know, these are in very predictable bomb clusters as the EMF waveform is coming through doing its job. See if we can pick up X-Smith. Is it doing anything? This thing usually makes a big rumble way out here, and you'll see it you'll always see it. Got a lot of vapors moving around in here, getting pinched. See that coming in? It's coming in, but then it's being held off. That should have come ashore, but it didn't. You've got radars then. National Loopy confirms this with the circle blast here, here, and here. Nothing's coming in. So if that's part of making a drought, is to hold the water off with electromagnetic frequency itself. But the likely cause of that isn't X-Smith. It's these NexRad radars on the coast themselves. They can influence the weather. Yep, as the waveform coming out meets what should have come in, it just bumps it off. It's gone. Just vaporize the moisture. That's just what you saw. And in the area now of interest to me where some storms are going to occur, all the seasonings are in the air. All the chem has been put in place around Tennant Creek and all through that. You got all these bombs have been deployed. Oh, the bush tucker, man, it's gonna float to the top, man. You have lots of yams. I love that thing. I bet you all get tired of Crocodile Dundee as much as I get tired of John Wayne. But you know, at least he had the sense to check if a man was a man or a lady was a lady in a bar in New York. Yeah. And you call that a knife? You call that a video? Not really. That's great stuff. Boy, the air is smelling Elliot, ain't it? That's a stinking bombed up place right there. You might have had a sunny day, but it has been decided, no. I wonder if we got any webcams out here. I'd like to have a look at your Skype. So let's go have a look. You got anything out here? Hey, you don't want to be spied on, come out here, man. Ain't no webcams. There was one at the Fitzroy Crescent. I know that, the bridge. There was a lodge over there. But the only way for me to see that damage is to go into my Facebook and show you the groups. And this is the wrong one. I am group. Together we are Groot, man. And if you ain't being that, what is wrong with you? You have to grow from the smallest bit of yourself. Okay, we're getting to see some of the coming ashore. It's brought to you by the Savannah Ledge here. Hey, give him a call. So we all give him a call at once and go, how you doing? Take a picture for Rob D. Go outside and wave. You're blocking the view. Would you look at the gelt? Right, this layer of the cloud's lit differently. This is down low. That purpley looking one is catching the sunlight of the rising sun or the setting sun. What we got time-wise here? When was it? 2 hours ago. Sunrise. Hey, the sunrise. The sun will be behind me. Lighting it this direction. There's a shadow cast in here, and that looks like a plane. No, or some birds. Maybe it's the black cockatoo. And it's going to do a plotch on some politicians somewhere because they're lying about geoengineering. And here's a great big plume, man. Just a drippy chemtrail. Don't you just love this kind of stuff? What did it look like yesterday morning? If I'm lucky, I can catch it. Big chemtrail rope over the top. That one behind there's moving in a different direction of flow. See that angle on that? This plume is straight up. What is this, a bong? Big bell end over there. Yeah, I'm not liking the look of your skies. It's very volatile. Yesterday you had a big cell blow up. You see the big plume over the top? That's not just a vapor coming off and around like a toroid throws off. That's a chem bomb causing a dynamic on the top. Sun can come in on an angle and heat that. It tries to radiate back out and bounces back down. Right? You got to look at angle of sun is very important to geoengineering and how it's reacting with sunshine. They could even have, and we suspect, photovitalic material, stuff that reacts to sunlight itself to make to change color like you sunglasses do, like I wear. Alice Springs is their airport, and you see a lot of microwaves up here. See the curves to that? See that triangle shape there? That's indicative of a lot of waves meeting or a cloaked TRB. I don't know anything else that'll do that. I aim toward an interference pattern. You got a lot of shadow games going on here with this big squareness here. If anything looked like a bored cube, freak people out. That would freak Gina out. There's a very square cloud going by there. You got a lot of shadow causing that effect from the top. If this area here is square, then it's going to cast the square shadow onto the actual chem and the rain that's falling that you see here. It's a very interesting picture. Let me screenshot that. Hey, that's a different jet. Now, I watched this airport, you know. Y'all are conspiracy theorists. Well, you ought to do it my way. Something up here is throwing up a different tundra. A lot of volatility out here in the desert. That was a big squall going by 11 hours ago. Then the night falls. When the night, golden light of dawn. So now we know sunrise direction, right? That's west. This is east, right? So when we want to see the storms out west, we'll look here. When we want to look to the south, we'll look here. That's that mountain range on the outskirts where the base and all this is. That's what I want to see. I'm just having a look around. You want to see your forecast and your totals again. My forecast from this morning is still accurate. Don't you love it when I do that? Of course I will. I will roll the beautiful bean footage. I'll take some of that off so it goes quicker. Right. Here's what they say is going to occur. Here is the weather plan. I showed you the booming and the bloomings and how your sunshine was taken away from you. They took our sunshine, our only sunshine. We have to say no to geoengineering today. And if we don't, everything we love will go away. That's dear. Please don't take our sunshine away. Boom, boom! Let me get some cymbals. I'll make all the noise I want. One man banned that shit. Bzzzt. Boosting in the corner, you ain't gonna get nothing. They held it off. That's how you make a drought. That's one way to do it. Just prevent the moisture from coming in. Another way is pull a whole bunch of particulates in the air. So there's been hit with microwaves. So the particles are very, very small. It never overcome the updrafts. And you could push them somewhere else and rain them down on your Nestle-controlled lake where you could bottle it and sell it back to the people. As they stole it out of the moisture of their own town. Sell it back to them in a bottle. Let's pollute their water treatment plant. Wick the water up out of that plant and bottle it and sell it to them. Or better yet, let's liquefy our dead. Maybe we'll honor them by drinking a Daddy Cola over here. Here, where's Grandma? Here, pass us a bottle of Fizzy Grand. Oh my God, some of the things suggested by people for funerary these days. No thank you. I'd rather be burned up and flushed down a bog. I've been treated that way my whole fucking life. I should get the same thing I gave the goldfish. What's the difference? Kids kicking over tombstones, no fucking respect. There's so many new ones, black ones with gold things on them when you see the cemeteries as you go by. You know something terrible has gone on since they mandated that vaccine. Something has to be going on. I think Bill Gates, the millionaire, is lying. Trillionaire is what he's going to be if we don't ask for some justice about this. This guy here, he's going to get away with a lot. I'll show you something. He has GMO mosquitoes. This is my opinion about him. I think Bill Gates is a genociding murderer. And I think this picture is pretty fucking accurate. You better watch them mosquitoes out there, buddy. Or you better watch this. This guy's funding that program. He's funding a program for the GMODs. He funded your vaccine. And he's funded this over your house. That guy ain't a doctor. He's a salesman from Harvard, a freaking dropout. You guys are giving him your lives. Don't let the WHO take over your medical choices, because that's a corporation that does this to you. It's a corporation run wild that lied to you. It's a corporation that's killing children on tennis courts, basketball courts, or even playing their games in their room. You never thought that when you put your kid to play a game in their room, you need a kiss and goodbye. What a fucking shame. That's my opinion on it. I'm seeing a statistical anomaly again. I'm very good at noticing patterns. No, I'm not anti-vax. I'm an abolitionist of it. I think I have an immune system myself, and I should challenge my body my whole life to develop natural immunities. And I'm still here, you bastards. I'm still here. And now, for the contamination of it all, I'll continue to roll that footage. So we were over about here before I rantated. I'm a very opinionated activist. You know, it's part of who I am. I was beat as a child to tell the truth. And you won't beat me to lie by bullying me to hear your opinion come out my mouth. I have the same medical degree as Bill Gates, so I should be able to talk about the same thing, but at least I could back up what I say very quickly like this. He could back it up with money. I'll pay you to do this, Daddy. I'll pay you to do this. All coming from that Harvard University. You know about the Scope X, right? I've mentioned it before. Watch. I want his actual website. I'm going to rate a Harvard on this one. Tell me they took it down. Here it is. Geoengineering Environment, Harvard University. You can't tell me this program ain't real. Here, have a read of this. Okay? You're going to start here. This is some of your hallmarks. This is some of the stuff that Bill Gates funds. And he does. He funds it well. Having trouble finding a comment box. Really, I can't find a comment box. I know how to make that happen. Watch this. Doink. Usually does it. There you go. It's an article about that. And in here you'll see about the experiment to spray everything like bugs. And it talks about things they want to do from space. This is a very nefarious thing. Talks about governance and climate agreements and stuff like that they went over. And I go over that stuff with you all the time. But all this you'll find on this page. It seems to be the page I've been showing you the most today. This should be it this month. No, that's a different one. I always find one with big pictures on him. Remember that one I was showing you? A geoengineering controlled perturbation experiment. Not sure whose this is. Sun dimming technology to be tested and things. You know, there's lots of information very publicly available for you to easily prove these things that I show you, and things that you also then become aware of yourself. Now, this is some of the homework. It shows the litigation, the private money that's going into it. Gates Venture aims to spray dust. That's true. Scope X, and this is Forbes magazine. You know, these are considered viable sources of information by people. So don't tell me, because ask me what my credential is. Ask me, why do I say what I do? And I will show you the people with credentials did when I study things. I mean, I read a lot of stuff. I'm not going to just read things on the internet. I got to read the peer articles too, you know. Hey, which color sun do you want? Through the years, what have you watched things change? Is this what you want to wake up to in 2040 or 2030 by the end of the year, the decade? It's very possible that that's all the sun you'll get. What about these crops? I know this is a picture, this is not of that, but I'm just using it as an illustration. And this is a cell. This is cells the program. And these are some heroes. Well done. This clown here. Look at the size of these balloons. Harvard Magazine. Now this is very viable. He's signing up for nothing. Wildfires, example of climate change. Bullshit. They sprayed a bunch of fire accelerants on down forests, and they raged higher and higher and higher, faster and faster, like we ever seen. Thousands of people died. They love to cause the harm and then tell you it was the fault of you, when it's the fault of a corporation that actually funded the program. Telling you this shit, telling you the propaganda, selling it to you. Selling it, a bunch of salesmen. Isn't that what they teach you at that university? How to make money, how to sell stuff. I'm sure they had to teach some morals and values somewhere there. I know they got a divinity school, but I see far from divine going out here. When trees need this, and you're trying to act like it's a crisis that there's too much of it. Maybe we need to plant more trees so they can give off more oxygen. Anybody think of that? Maybe too many trees got cut down. I think of that. So here's some of your Scope X information. You will dive through this and you will come up with all this. The Crimson Magazine. But an indigenous group wants them to shut down Scope X. Right? Don't want their sunshine stolen. Now here's an article for that. How much more do you want provided? But how much litigation time does it take to get a judgment in your favor before your money runs out? Before no more ones are in front of your zeros, and while endless zeros are in front of their ones. So their oneness has endless zeros. Well, when it came to knots and crushes, I'd rather sit down and watch. I've seen the result of that in the movie War Game. And while my planet is not a game for you to play, and this picture is my opinion, thank you, a grand old memes. Yeah, you are a bug. And this situation is bugging me. He would let go a bunch of mosquitoes that were GMO that were not supposed to breed, and they have in Florida. Yep, and as they're frying and the planes keep flying, lots of creatures keep on dying. And well, if you're going to kill me with the slow kill, it gives me lots of time to tell about it. Yeah, I'm in a mood. I'll continue to roll your week's worth of weather. Coming up to a year since the Lismore flood. Very, very tragic. And here I am. I bet I've done 600 weather forecasts for Australia since then. I'm saying the same thing today that I did on that first day. Geoengineering kills as much as complacency. Because if we don't say no, like this indigenous groups do, that we never knew they did. Did you know this? Did you know there was an indigenous group that wanted your oneness towards theirs? Well, you do now. Okay? Fight this with me, please. For everything on this beautiful earth, we must. For everything in the oceans, everything that clings to a tree. Every lichen is liked by something But parasites, they decay things that eventually go into the earth. So, if we're parasites, we just consume off the host. We don't give back. And I see far too much parasitic action asked for in the Paris Agreement than I've ever seen in any policy in my life. And the risk is way too high. As we move in towards this Tuesday, the cyclone action is starting to come down out of the north. You're going to get one. Absolutely. Wind strength is close to it being actually called a tropical cyclone when it comes ashore. I'm going to jump up faster. I wanted 1 hour jumps on that data. Well, maybe I moved it up to 2. Right, your totals coming in are going to be very high. This is when your first wetness is going to start to come through New South Wales, but it's nothing major. You needed some rain. Yep. But they have to have that sitting off coast, and you'll see why. Yeah, keeping you wet, keep you wet, swell the streams, swell the streams, swell the streams, and then they kill the dreams. Your soil is very, very dry. Yeah, you got an action coming. It's always that move, man. Swell the streams, then kill the dreams. Yeah, get it running downstream all backed up so when the floodwater hit, it ain't got nowhere to go. And that's what they're doing at Queensland this week. So with that said, I'm going to go in and take a look at some of your totals locally up here over the next 24 hours, and then I'm going to act like a banana and split. I think I did my bit to date. Over the next 24 hours in a very predictable place where the chemtrails said so, you're going to have heavy alpha rains from the alpha fucking... What a bunch of gorilla heads. Right, where exactly am I? Slow the fuck down. Slow down. Right, I'm up here, I believe. Yeah, even indigenous people over there know all about geoengineering. Y'all people acting like it's a fucking great big mystery. You know why it's a mystery? They didn't put it on your cereal, but he's looking at you. He's going to keep peeking at you throughout the entire show. I didn't know I was going to do that, but it just happened. That's how I roll. Alright. I'm up near Mackay and Rockhampton. Mackay and Rockhampton. This is the area they're planning the rains. So here's all the crap they put in the air to do it. A lot of microwaves boiling on the low deck down here. See him? I just speed it up so you can see the and it stops, stops. Does not a cloud, it keeps going. But if that's a glitch and a bomb went off, pow, pow, going off right there. They'll shoot your eyes out, kids. They'll be burning your eyes out. You want to be up next to that when it went off. I bet that gave off some heat. It had a very strange one here. Seen one earlier that looked like it had numbers in it, and it was up here. Let me see if it's still on screen. Not really. It was very strange. Very strange. Look at that chem bomb go. Go, chem bomb, go. Boom, 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 go. Chem bomb, go. Blow, 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 blow. Chem bombs fucking suck. They blow. They're bad. They're wrong. It's no good. How many flowers of death do you count in this one picture here? You don't have to look very far to say, where's Waldo? Waldo's all over the place. And all in all, it's just another Waldo in the Waldo. A Waldo salad. How many hicks again you got on top of each other? Hi. 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 What, are you building a house up there? Yeah, well, it seems like the house of the unholy to me. As this bomb is going off out here, off of the coast of Brisbane. Boy, did they shit your skies up today. Absolute shit-stained skies. Shit-stained skies. Shit-stained skies. Eat shit and die. Dan. I can't. He just makes it too easy. But now you're getting divorced now, all up by himself. That don't look like the same guy. The earlobe ain't matching up with the eye. The side of the eye. First thing you check with the deep fake. The side of the eye with the ears. Yeah. Where is he hiding? Did he buy his own? Yellow submarine, yellow submarine. Come on, how did you guys really vote for that guy? I think everybody in the country should just send a letter out to everybody down here and ask, did you vote for Dan? If we find out that everybody said no, then somebody's going to jail for lying about an election. And then the policy of letting a computer count your vote goes out the window. Well, we got pencils and papers and eyeballs and magnifying glass, and my Chad ain't dangling ever. Right, remember that when, you know, that's a dangling Chad. I didn't even know that thing that they poked a hole out was called a Chad. Who the hell named that? What, did Chad have a small dick? That was the only thing that could fit there. Hey, that's a Chad. What was up with that? I'm over here just looking at the incredibly chem-bombed up skies over here towards the horse head of Melbourne. The nebula. Boy, you got a big fryer down here. Yeah, it does. You got a mini CERN. That's a chem bomb being deployed over here in front of Belenda. Benalla. The grand finale for Benalla. Make some Benalla bread. There you go. Bombing it, bombing it, bombing it, bombing it, having it, having it, having it, having it, have it, have it, have it. How many more of these do I need to do? How many more clicks of that thing can my keyboard fucking take before my poor heart breaks? Now for your totals. It's gonna get worse. I didn't want to give it to you all at once. Okay. They're starting to get honest. Very honest. You ready now? Alright. Honesty is starting to show through. I told you the totals will go up. And there's a SWAT that's coming through here that's going to give you 40 centimeters of water. Some of it is going to be nearly 80 centimeters of water. Some areas could be high. You'd have to get a meter in a day. Some might get less. This is an unbelievable storm of which you have never seen anything like. And I'm so happy I told you people to get the fuck out early. You have had plenty of time to get out from here. Right, you got a lot of problems, Mudderboro. This water has to go somewhere. Mackay, lots of problems. Lots of problems. Right, not everybody's in full agreement of where that moisture and when it's coming ashore, but everybody agrees it's there. It's fucking there, and you're going to get it. So what are we going to do? We're going to keep an eye on it. We're already prepared, and some people need to evacuate. Right, if you're out on this island, you need to leave. Or you don't be out there. Unless you got high ground and you're used to riding things out and then enjoy the show. Don't endanger the lives of emergency workers after an event has begun and you made a numbnut decision to stay. Ingham, you're going to have problems. Any rain that comes toward this area has got nowhere to go when all that's poured in from the land on top of it. You are going to have flooding along this river here. There's nothing you could do about it. It's coming. And the numbers in Innisfails are starting to rise to the half meter and up. And up. It's out there. I'm telling you, just because it's pink don't mean it's just that low. There's lots of tendrils of pockets of very heavy cells that have been bombed up by the geoengineers. And as those days come on, I'll be showing you what's coming from out in the ocean. Right? Being diligent. Now out west, you have a situation that's developing too. I just showed you all the bombs. You got about 24 hours to prepare for the riding it out. I'd love some reports on the east-west road and the north-south roads on the crossings, please, in between these batches. There's no webcams out here or traffic cams for me to look at. Somebody put one up so I can look. Put it on the network. Show the sky for me, please. Give me a one east and one west. It helps me with the weather forecast for you guys. It does. Your information are my most valuable tools. You're the heroes, you know. You're the ones that put up with the beefs from people all the time when you say, hey, you know, Robert said something. He's just a nut, they'll say. Say, no, and because you give a fuck about your neighbor. Then you go prepare, and what happens? They're not prepared, so you're going to be kind and give him supplies and leave yourself short. So you know what? Sometimes the squirrel watches the other squirrel outside in the cold when he knows there's 80 centimeters of water sitting over the coast with the potential to be over the land at any time in the next 10 days. Right? If you're going to go from that to that means you're having a half a meter week out there in that spot. Expect those numbers to rise. Yeah, expect those numbers to rise. As this tendril keeps streaming in from this direction ashore, this is going to be a long sustained event. All this moisture is not in on the 10s yet. Not until this cut here, which is obvious in the weather plan, right, backs that moisture up to turn it into another cyclone back in here. I don't know where they're going to put that yet. The pressures can't quite tell me. All the pressures indicate to me she'll come right through here and then form on that, on the end over here. Right at the vagina opening, the entrance. My gosh, you poor folks. And down south event will begin around then as well. So you got another something coming of which I can't yet determine. Okay. Hey, Tazzy, how you doing? No, I ain't forgot about you guys over here. So I'll give you a quick look. The word boring comes to mind. Yawns. Yawn. Yawn. Yeah, there's your radar. Right, with that said, have I shown you everything you need to see? Well, let's roll some of the bombs that are going to stream in this strand. Because this strand's very important for racking your world up here in the next few days. And each one of these cuts can be an individual cell. That'll bump into that. That'll be one. Hook-nosed man will be two. All right, let's roll this a minute. I want to see these bombs. Boom, 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 boom. Definitely a cluster going off out here. See it right here. Right, that's the last image. Boom. Deployed and it blowed out the cloud. Blowed it right out. And this is controlling the weather well out to sea. That's going to influence you. Got ET over here's face. Go home. Dueling chem bombs. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 plum. Plum, 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 boom, 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 plum, 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 plum. Mighty square looking, doesn't it? Does that look like a round cell? No. It doesn't to me. It's a big bomb field, right? Whole field of bombs. And then I'm going backwards. How did they make this line? Bombs made it. This has been bombed into existence. This is a geoengineered storm. It's fueling up the cells right now that are going to come ashore and bring the moisture from the tropics into Queensland, Australia, and fuck your world up. Folks, get in your arcs. The time has come. Be safe. Be free. Be you. Be oneness. Big love. Peace.